Hello everyone. Today we have with us Gagan. He is a 2012 Olympian. He went to the London Olympics and represented India at the 1500-meter freestyle event. Hi Gagan.
Hi, Achintya. Hi, everyone.
How are you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, it,
Um, as as you mentioned, there, I'm Gagan Ullalmath. I'm from Bangalore. I trained in Bangalore, and I swam for India at the London Olympic Games in the 1500 meters freestyle. And I've also been a part of the Indian team at the Commonwealth Games 2010 and the 2011 World Championships, which was held in Shanghai. Yeah, that's about a little bit about me. I also have a lot of national and international medals. I don't want to get into the details of it. It's going to be time consuming.
yeah. So now that Tokyo 2020 or maybe 2021, whatever you may say, is just around the corner, and it's starting soon. And so, how does it feel knowing that you have been through this whole process back in 2012? How do you take in the 2020 Tokyo Olympics?
See, for Olympics is a dream for an athlete or for a young athlete. So back then, my intention to represent India at the games got stronger looking at my seniors. It's always an inspiration because I grew up seeing Nisha Millet and Shikha Tendon and Rehan Poncha, three of them making it to the Olympic Games. So that was a big inspiration, and that's what made me believe that I should also be there, or I can be there. That's and looking at the athletes right now for the 2020 games, we have gone through a lot. A big pandemic the world has seen, and it was a very challenging time for the athletes to keep themselves fit. Right now, if everything went well, the Olympics should have been over. Fortunately for some, unfortunate for some more, but the feeling is very great. I mean, it's a fantastic feeling, and all the athletes would have given their best and trained their utmost potential. So I would comparing me back then, I was much younger and a lot more fitter than what I am today. But uh, the feeling of the Olympic Games is the same. It's the world's mega sporting event and the most widely watched sporting contest all over the world. So the Olympic Games is something which brings back memories of myself being in the games and my seniors also being in the games, all the Olympians. So it's a good feeling, I would say.
So I also want to know, and can you take me through your preparations and the whole like experience of being at the London 2012 Olympics and swimming for Team India?
See, one thing is the 1500 meters freestyle is a distance event. So my swimming volumes were pretty much on the higher side, I would say. And we used to swim approximately around 70 kilometers a week. So that was the volume that we used to train. And closing up to the competition, it used to drop down a bit. And always the technology back then, I wouldn't say that it was up to the mark. I mean, up to the way that it is today. A lot in terms of recovering faster or in terms of mental health. No, a lot has changed in the past 9 years, I would say. There's more emphasis on mental health, and there's more technological developments in terms of athlete recovery, which was there back then, but it was not very prominent. So I was also a part of, I had my own methods of recovery, and I had my own methods of, doing some meditation and yoga to keep myself calm. So visualization was a part of it. I think right now all the athletes are making sure that they are on point mentally and physically. There's a lot of mentioned technological advancements like this Normatec suits, which make your legs recover faster. So yes, pretty much the same, but I wouldn't say that only technology has changed much in the past 9 years.
Okay, great, great. So as you mentioned that you swim the 1500, and it's the longest event that any in swimmer can swim in the like the indoor swimming pool that where the Olympic swimming happens, not the open water. So how do you how do you come to this conclusion that 1500 was your event, like it was your strength or it was your favorite event?
See, during the initial days of my swimming career, I never knew that I'm going to be a long distance swimmer. It was very hard for me to realize, or my coaches to know what event suits for me. Because we I when group 4 or group 5, group 4 and group 3 does not have any distance events
Yeah,
back then, and I don't think so they have it right now as well. So I it was very hard because I used to do only the shorter versions of the races, and only after 14 years is when I came to know that my endurance levels and my stroke is much suited for a distance event, middle distance to long distance event. So until then, I had no knowledge about what race I'm going to be swimming. And after that, also, it's not only been distance swimming for me. I have done a little bit of 200 and 400 IMs, and I've done some breaststroke events, not at major levels, major events like senior nationals or international events, but at the university games, I've experimented with a lot of other events as well. But only after a certain age, I would say mostly after 15, 16, when you hit your growth spurt, that is when you realize, based on your stroke and based on a lot of things, tempo, your stroke rate, and your endurance levels, you will realize which event is suitable for you to train and race.
so the next question, it's kind of a two perspective question. So I want the first question to be like, if someone would have asked you 15 years back, like in 2006 or 7, that like could you see yourself swimming at a Olympic Games, or like for your part, it would be the London 2012. So 15 years back then, could you envision yourself swimming, at the London 2012?
To be honest, no, I wouldn't have imagined in 2005 or 6 that I would be making it to the games. As I mentioned, in 2000 we saw Nisha Millet and Hakimuddin going to the Olympic Games. In 2004 we saw Shikha Tandon going to the Olympic Games. In 2008 is when I saw Rehan Poncha, who was training in the same swimming pool, make it to the
Yeah.
games. So 2000, I was too young. I had just started my swimming career, but I knew what Olympic Games was because of these two athletes, Nisha Millet and Hakim. And in 2004, we had already started training, and it was a big thing for me to see Shikha Tandon as well. The fastest sprinter back then, and it was very good to see. But still, a very young budding career. I did not know that I'm going to make it to the games in 2004 as well. In 2008, when I had already kickstarted my career at the senior nationals and the junior nationals, is when I saw Rehan Poncha taking part along with Veer Dhawan, Sandeep, and Ankur Posaria. So that made me, gave me a lot of inspiration to make it to the 2012. Olympic Games. So, if you say earlier to 2004, yes, I knew what Olympics was and I knew who were the swimmers, but I wouldn't have seen myself making it to the London Games until 2008 when I saw Rehan, Ankur, and Veer Dawal and Sandeep make it to the 2008 Games. That after which my intention or my desire to be a part of be an Olympian grew stronger, I would say.
So, like a couple of days back, I actually watched an interview about with Mahendra Singh Dhoni, and the interview asked him, like, did you ever envision or come into the sport knowing that you want to be at the peak or at the pinnacle of, for him it was cricket. So when did you envision yourself, or did you come into the sport that you want to like pursue swimming competitively at the highest level possible, or it was just, as a extracurricular activity or something sort of that?
Yeah, to be honest, as I mentioned again, that I started off swimming not to make it big in the sport, but to have it was an extracurricular activity. It is a life skill mainly. So swimming, that's how I started it. And no, to be honest, I never thought that I'm going to be a part of big events of international importance. It initially nobody will know. It's once you start competing, and you go through a lot of ups and downs in life, and as you grow in the sport, as your journey grows in the sport, is when your desire to train or to make it big grows stronger. So if there are athletes who do not enjoy that journey, then swimming or any competitive sport is not for them. It's all about the journey. You have to enjoy the process. And uh, early victories are not always helpful. People who've performed very well at the younger stage, it's not necessary that they're going to continue to perform for a couple of years. It's not like that. So the journey is important. I had a good career from 2006 to 2013. So during that journey, there were a lot of ups and downs, which an athlete needs to enjoy. That's when, during that time, is when you will realize at what level you want to go, and what are the goals that you set for yourself.
So now that you are an Olympian and you have that, brand name alongside your name, so how does it feel? Like, you are called an Olympian Gagan or Gagan Indian Olympian. So how does it feel?
See, it's a very responsible title to keep it with you. It's not a one-time thing. Nobody says ex-Olympian. There's nothing ex in being an Olympian. If you are an Olympian, you are an Olympian for life. And mainly, it is about the Olympic values: integrity, peace, harmony. As Olympians, we need to be peacekeepers in the society with harmony, and take the whole society towards the betterment. That is about Olympic values. This is whatever I told you just now is just a small thing. There's a lot of more aspects involved. I can't get into all the details, but the title is a responsibility, I would say, and it is not about me or myself. Once you become an Olympian, you are not an individual. You always put society ahead of you. So it's always everyone along with me. So that's something which I have learned, and I would also it's always about motivating, encouraging the youngsters to do well, and we see that these days the young boys are doing incredibly well. To name a few, I would say Sri Hari for that matter, and Advait, Kushagra, a few more very fantastic Tanish. You know, these are all very good upcoming talents that we have. And along with this, what we need to focus, I also think that women have a lot of scope, just a little bit lagging behind. So when you say an Olympian, we have to think not only about the men's, but we also got to think about the women's representation at the Olympics as well. So this time we have Mana Patel going to the games, and we would wish in the coming years for the 2024 or 2028 we have more women representation in the Olympic Games in the sport of swimming as well. There's a lot of potential for growth, I would say.
Yeah. So, what are the best and the worst moments in your swimming journey?
See, best moments are those moments where you see the national anthem being played and the national flag being raised above in front of you. That is the best feeling, you know. Nothing can compensate that. The worst feeling is when you have to deal with injuries, when you have to deal with a loss of losing a race, you know. There were times when I had to deal with the fear of failure, you know, and I had to do a lot of work on myself to understand and rework on the way my thought process was. So I would say that the best moments were victories, and the worst moments was dealing with injuries and coming back stronger. Those were the worst moments, I would say. But when you do deal with them and you come back stronger, you're going to be a whole new level of athlete.
So can you just pick any one like particular moment or particular incident that's the best and the other one as a worst one?
See, I would say that the best experience was swimming 16 minutes and 31 seconds in the Olympic pool. So I finished last in my heat. So what happened was when I was finishing the last lap of my race, the whole crowd from the stands was cheering for me to finish. Usually when you're swimming, right next to you, if somebody screams and your head is down, you won't be, won't be in a position to hear or realize what exactly they're trying to say. But it was so evident that I was able to listen to the people cheering for me to finish the race uh, inside the water as well. That was the kind of feeling that I had, and that is something that I'm going to carry for the rest of my life. The one of the best feelings that is at this swimming at the Olympic Games. Along with that, I would say, if you want me to say, I have there were some there was a SAF Games gold medal which I won in 2010 in Dhaka, and we had to, the national anthem was played and the national flag was raised. So that was one of the most cherished memories. And if you say one of the most worst memories, I would say that I got an injury on my right shoulder, and it was like 2 3 days before an Olympic qualification event. So that was something which I did not really expect or did not really
Happen.
enjoy, I would say. But looking back at it now, I would say that whatever happened, it was for the good, and I would always advise the youngsters or something to, how to avoid being in such positions.
So any thoughts or advice before we sign off today?
Um, See, yeah, I would say that there is no uh, taxes for you to dream. Yeah. So I also started dreaming about the Olympic Games like when I was a 14, 15-year-old kid. And it came true. It came true. It's something, if you really work hard for it, it's going to find its way to you. And you definitely please continue to dream and hard work. That's something the athletes there's no shortcut. You can't find success or become an Olympian or make it to the Olympic Games by taking shortcuts. It's never going to happen. And I would say that work hard and dream big, believe, very strong word, believe in yourself. So these three things I would say to all the youngsters who are trying to make it to their Olympic dream. I would say all the best to all of you guys, and keep it up.
Thank you so much for coming up and sharing so much about your journey about the Olympics and what it takes to be an Olympian. It was great having you. I wish you all the very best.
Thank you, Achintya. It was nice talking to you as well. And you're doing a good job by, accumulating and I mean, talking to all the people and making a blog out of it, vlog out of it, vlog. So it was good talking to you, and hope to meet you in person someday.
Yeah, sure, sure. Okay. Thank you. Bye.
Bye bye.
If you let me